Hi, my name is Dave Smith, and I will be your son or daughter's AP Physics teacher this year. I'm super excited for another great year. I'm excited to have them back in class, full time, as opposed to the hybrid stuff that we've been doing for the past year and a half. I think they are in for a learning journey in this class that is super beneficial. I want to talk a little bit today about the idea of a growth mindset because I think it's important for two reasons this year. Number one, because it's important to have a growth mindset in terms of what we are encountering um, from a logistics standpoint to run school these days. And number two, I think it's important to have a growth mindset from both a student and a parent perspective when you're undertaking a class that's as difficult as AP Physics, right? So what is a growth mindset? Well, I've attached a link to this page with a little video that I think is super informative and super beneficial. A little bit about what a growth mindset means in my opinion, right? Like a person that has a growth mindset embraces challenges, right? And they see, obstacles as a way to problem solve and get around as opposed to a reason to shut down. And a growth mindset person sees the educational process as a journey instead of a means to an end to receive a particular number, let's just say, on their report card. It's not about measurable outcomes. It's not about what did we get on that test. It's about the journey and what I'm learning and how I'm developing as a person. Now, grades are certainly important, and we're going to address that in a couple minutes here on the video. But the mindset of having growth as the forefront is super important to our course, right? And I've got a couple commitments to you. The first is that you have my commitment that this course is immensely valuable. Um, your sons and daughters are about ready to take one of the two or three hardest courses here at Clarence High School. Like I view this and AP Chemistry and AP Calculus as the hardest courses in the school. And with no disrespect to history and English on the AP level, um, the idea of an upper level AP math based science course or an AP math course is just different. And it's different in that these courses are not designed to get everything correct. So AP Physics is not designed for your son or daughter to be able to get everything correct. Back in third grade when they had a spelling test and they had 20 words, they were supposed to get all 20 words correct. If they get 20 physics questions on the test this year, it's not necessarily designed for them to get all of those things correct. And if you have an understanding of that, and hopefully this video will provide you with a little bit of that understanding, and you could be supportive of your sons or daughters when they come home and they're struggling a little bit and they're having a little doubt in terms of, am I good enough to do this? And you talk to them about the idea of a growth mindset, which I will talk to them about incessantly throughout the course of the year. It's one of my main goals is to get them to have an understanding and turn themselves into people with growth mindsets. If you can have that same understanding that this course is different. In other words, like we have great success rates in achieving a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP exam. The kids that come into this classroom are smart. So a substantially higher percentage of those kids end up with AP credit than the worldwide average, right? We often achieve at an 85% success rate, getting a 3, 4, or 5 in this AP exam, as opposed to 60% as a worldwide average. So we are successful, but even with that success, right, getting a 5 on this exam might only require getting 60 to 70%, and sometimes even lower, of the questions correct, right? So when the best students are getting a 70%, and I'm telling them that is a great job, and kids are getting 50s, and I'm saying nice job, that's not what our top level kids are used to. So I want you to embrace that challenge. I want you to talk to your kids about it and let them know that's what higher level math and science learning is really about. Right now, ultimately, we've got to get them a grade that's commensurate with their academic ability to reward them for challenging themselves. In other words, they could sit in a Regents physics class and get a 90. I'd love for them to come in here and instead get 75s on their tests. because I'm going to teach you and show you how ultimately that 75 on their test as an initial raw score can equate to a 90 or even higher average. It's similar to what they'd get in a Regents class. So ultimately, it all comes out the same. Just the initial feedback is often one of many missed answers. It's okay. And I will constantly tell your sons and daughters that, right? So how do we get your sons and daughters' numerical grade on this report card to be commensurate with what they're academically used to, right? And I certainly can't guarantee that, but we've got a system that's been working for many, many years, right? So what are the elements of that system? First off, 50% test grades, 25% homework, 25% quizzes. The quizzes, when I give them, if it's a 10-question quiz, I take the grade out of 9. Right? So if you either get 9 or 10 questions correct, you really end up with a 9 out of 9. Right? So there's an automatic kind of a curve type of situation, right? Almost all of the answers to any homework your son or daughter is given in class, the answers are posted someplace, almost always. So to not have the correct answers is just a matter of laziness. Now, the idea is not to open up the answers and copy them. It is to do the homework and then check your answers. So the homework is available to them from an answer perspective. And when they take their tests, they'll have the opportunity to earn points back. Earn points back by doing test corrections. And I'm going to talk more about that with them and the specifics, right? And then one final big component of the grades, and don't let them forget about our lab reports. Lab reports can be worth a point on their average at the end of the marking period. If they do them on time and they do it to AP caliber, I'm going to reward them with a point on their average. If they don't do them, then I'm going to take a point away. So if your son or daughter is sitting there on the parent portal with an 85, and we've done 8 lab reports, that 85 actually turns into a 93 on their report card if they've done all the lab reports. Now, conversely, if they haven't done any of those things, it turns into a 77 or 78. So that 85 could mean lots of varying things. So it's important for us to embrace that growth mindset from a way we're attacking the class, from what we're doing with grades. And then finally, the last commitment that I have for you is really another example of a growth mindset, right? Like my commitment to you as a parent is that I'm going to make this class work. We were able to make it work last year during COVID. This should be child's play for us to make this thing work. You have my commitment that any obstacles that are going to come up throughout the course of the year, we're going to work to give your son or daughter a positive experience. You can reach me, again, it's Dave Smith. You can reach me at dsmith@clarenceschools.org. Have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions.